Right off the bat, you'll notice that this is a larger pack than some of the other packs that we've looked at from Hidden Woodsman. This is the Forest Ruck, and it is quite a bit bigger and has quite a bit more volume than the Haversack or the Day Ruck. You'll notice these two large water bottle pouches on the side, and then you have a larger volume on the main bucket portion of the pack as well. Same simple and straightforward top flap that folds over. Actually, there is these straps that come from the bottom, which you can hook through the little webbing down here. You could use your own strap system. Let's say if a wool blanket that you got came with one, you could use that, but you can also use them to secure a wool blanket, as I had it before I took it off the pack here. So you've got a nice generous amount of webbing keepers on the end, and you'll notice same Hidden Woodsman format that he's been doing for years. Super high quality, attention to detail. You notice these Velcro tabs are sewn right in, stitched right into the tab here. Real high quality stitching everywhere. A lot of packs, these just fall off when you unravel them, but it's nice to have that. You can keep your webbing in place there. Very high quality hardware as well as far as the buckles go. These probably have the most durable snap that I've ever heard in a buckle before. They just completely snap in there, nice and loud. They are a little bit even difficult to get off, and that's going to tell you that that thing is going to hold some weight. There's no way that that thing's going to come undone. It's going to stay nice and strong throughout the cold months. It's not going to get all brittle and crack on you like some of the other hardware does. On the front here, there is an axe loop, so I have a small forest axe. It actually goes down and ends right at the bottom of the wool blanket once it's rolled on there, so it's a good size for that. If you didn't want it to hang off the bottom there, if you weren't going to attach anything to the bottom, you could do like a hatchet in here instead, and it would ride a little bit higher. Generally, I'm hanging my pack anyway, so doesn't really isn't a very big problem as far as is what I carry, and I like carrying the small forest axe. You can get a lot done with this particular size axe. So as we looked at a moment ago, these straps can be run through here if you weren't going to use that. These are individual webbing hooks, so you could hang things from them, attach all different sorts of things to those as well, which is nice. On the back side here, you have a grab handle here, again, something that you could use to hang the pack. These are padded shoulder straps. They're not highly padded, but they are going to give you a little bit of comfort. You know, you're not going to carry a whole ton of weight in this pack. This pack's going to be good for maybe an overnight in the summertime, possibly an overnight in the wintertime if you packed really light. But mainly it's going to be a pack that you can take out into the woods and carry a lot of gear with you. Cooking wise, for example, I've got a lot of cooking gear in here that just wouldn't fit in the Day Ruck or in the Haversack. So on the back side again, there is a sternum strap, again with that really positive click there. It is nice that the sternum straps, you can adjust them quite a bit. There's quite a bit of range here. That's nice for females that may have to put it below or above something on their chest there. I know that that's been a concern with some packs, but this thing you can really adjust it above and beyond, so it's definitely going to work for the females out there as well. And then on the sides, you have equal water bottles water bottle holders on each side. On this side, I just have a clean canteen bottle. It will hold up to a 32 ounce. You could put something taller in here if you wanted to. You just wouldn't be able to flip the lid over on it. And of course, you could store other things in there like cordage or, you know, maybe a small raincoat or something like that. Things that you wanted easy access to. On the other side, same thing. On this side, I just have another water bottle, actually something I'm testing out at the moment, so that'll be a future review coming up on that little water bottle there. Pretty neat little water bottle. And then you have your front flap, of course. The front flap does also double as a possibilities pouch, so there is a zippered portion here. Again, all high quality zips, YKK zippers. 1000D, if I didn't mention that, as far as the fabric goes. So you have a nice possibilities pouch here. It is nice that it has a little bit of mesh on the outside here, so let's say you had a water filter that was dripping or something, you know, you could just leave it at camp like that and just set the bucket style down next to your tent or next to your shelter, and that would have a chance to dry out. So nice that you have a little bit of mesh there. And then you just simply have the bucket to the pack here. I can grab this pad out with this sit pad, which is something that I always take with me. And then you've got the this drawstring closure here on the top with a cord lock, so you can really snug that up and keep your materials in there, or you can obviously undo it and it becomes just a huge dump pouch for all your gear. So again, it being winter time, I'm always packing on extra layers. Today it's warmer out, so I don't need my puffy coat, but that is in here as well. Can stuff right down into the top of the pack there. I have my belt knife, which is when I get to my destination, whether it be a trailhead or woods that I'm going to, for example, I'll throw that on my belt, and there's of course a ferro rod attached to that as well. I've got a little Hidden Woodsman tinder pouch, which generally when I'm walking, I will keep this on the clip to the backpack strap on my pouch here, and I just click it like that, so if I find tinder or something like that or other interesting things, I just have that hanging off and I can fill that bag. That way when I get to camp, I've got a full bag of tinder, whether it be birch bark or cedar bark or something like that. That works great for that. I've got my Hidden Woodsman Possibilities pouch. This thing has everything in it. There is a small first aid kit, a small fire kit, spork, backup flashlight, matches, some stakes. I've got several different bits of cordage in here, some paracord. I've also got some bank line there, a lighter, a compass with a mirror on it, so that works well in case you need to see something on your face, for example. I even have some toilet paper in here. So this is kind of the kitchen sink here. Again, from Hidden Woodsman, I've used this quite a bit, and that goes right down in the kit. Then I have, let's see, I have the big boy saw here. Sometimes I take this only, sometimes I take the axe only. Other times when I have the room, I can pack them both. Not much you can't do with this combo here. And then you add a belt knife to it, and you've sort of got the trifecta of cutting tools in the woods. And I have my firebox pan set. This is the small pan set that we looked at previously. It's got a cutting board in it, it's got a cowboy plate in it, of course it's got the pot and the pot holder in there. I've got my little UCO lantern here in case it gets dark or I'm staying overnight. I can there's a candle in there too. Then I've got two tarps in here. This is the Bushcraft Outfitters poncho tarp. I like having this in here because it serves as a poncho that is full size, that will go over my entire pack, but it also can be used as a tarp. And then I have a Etowah Outfitters. This is their shelter tarp. I don't know exactly what they call it, but it's basically like a lean-to, and it's got flaps on the side. So you can make a really good shelter with this. Put the wool blanket down on the bottom, or throw this tarp down on the bottom, then put the wool blanket on it. So you can have a pretty good shelter in a pretty quick amount of time out in the woods there. And then of course I use the cordage that's in the possibilities bag as well. Then the last thing that I have in here is my solo stove. Now obviously my components that I take into the woods are going to change depending on what I'm doing. I was going to do some sausage and sauerkraut and potatoes, so I wanted to have a larger pot, and so the solo stove works great for that. Then of course I could also use the pan with the firebox on top of the solo stove. Again, that changes depending on what I'm doing, and of course what you pack in your pack is going to change depending on weather, depending on how long you're going out. But you do have, you know, quite a bit more volume with this pack than you do some of the other packs from the Hidden Woodsman, without sacrificing any quality, of course. There is a orange liner on the back here, so it kind of helps you when you're digging in to see that stuff. There is actually a orange liner on the bottom there too, which is nice. And then finally, this pack has a frame sheet in it, so you can see here it's just got a rigid frame sheet in there. It's surprisingly comfortable, more comfortable than, let's say, my Frost River pack, my Isle Royal Bushcraft pack. That pack isn't very comfortable unless you have some sort of a frame in it, or you put some sort of a bucket in it. but this one doesn't really need that, and so you're saving all that weight, and you can still pack a lot of stuff in here and still be really comfortable, even with the minimal padding on the shoulder straps and the frame sheet. So you can tell that Malcolm did a lot of testing with this. You know, he's built several different packs throughout the years that maybe he sold a few and then just didn't do them mainstream, but I think he really hit the nail on the head with this one. You can pack a lot of stuff in here. You got the dual water bottle holders, which can be used for anything, any quick stash items. Very simple, but very, very useful, and that's sort of the way it goes with the Hidden Woodsman stuff, is that it's a bit of traditional mixed with a bit of modern materials. It's even got rot-proof thread in here, so all the stitching, all the hardware, all the modern high technology, advanced type stuff that you could put on a pack with traditional styling and traditional elements to it. So again, just another great pack from Malcolm. I think this is a winner. I'll have a link below to this pack, and you'll see this pack on me in some future videos as well. So go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up for me if you would. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys on the next video.